Did you know that you can change the colour of hydrangeas? Although not always easy to do, it is within everyone's reach if you implement a few tricks. In this The Daily Eco video, we bring you a guide on how to do it effectively. How is it possible to change the colour of a hydrangea? The colour of hydrangea flowers depends on the bracts that the plant produces. These are the parts around the much smaller true flowers. The colour of these bracts depends on the pH of the soil, referring to its level of acidity. Hydrangeas are plants that usually prefer acidic soils, but they can grow in a wide range of pH values from approximately 4.0 to 8.0, with different levels producing different colours. It is important to note that experiments changing the soil pH must be carried out at least 60 days before flowering, and that any subsequent changes will no longer have the desired effect on the plant. If there is any loss of colour in hydrangeas, it is most likely they need more nutrients or that the pH is changing too much. How to change the colour of hydrangeas to white? Some varieties of hydrangea produce white flowers on their own, but pink or blue hydrangeas can be lightened to the point where their flowers are almost completely white. To achieve this, it is necessary to raise the pH of the soil to a value of 8.0. However, this can also result in complications for the plant. Cases of iron chlorosis can occur, which can cause the plant health problems. Getting white flowers from pinks or blues is not impossible, but it is risky and difficult. For this reason, it is generally not recommended, especially because you can buy white hydrangeas directly. How to change the colour of hydrangeas to blue? To make hydrangeas blue or keep the intensity of blue hydrangeas, the first and most basic step is to achieve a soil pH of below 5.0. Vinegar, citric acid or iron sulfate can be used to make the soil acidic. Once the pH is below 5.0, we can add the homemade hydrangea colorant, which is nothing more than aluminium sulfate. It is enough to dissolve 2 grams of aluminium sulfate for each litre of water, and water with this mixture once every 3 days for 2 months before flowering. Before we continue, let's put you to the test. How many species of hydrangeas are there? A. 50 to 55, B. 60 to 65, or C. 70 to 75. Have a think, and we'll reveal the answer at the end of the video. How to change the colour of hydrangeas to pink? Pink hydrangeas are the most common variety. When a hydrangea with another natural colour is watered with tap water, which usually has a high lime content, the pH of its soil loses acidity, reaching a point where it rises above 6.0 and turning its flowers pink. It is possible to increase the pH of the soil by adding calcium nitrate, paprika or wood ash to make the hydrangea display pink flowers. But keeping it in this state for a long time is not recommended and will jeopardise the health of the plant. You can also use fertiliser rich in nitrogen and phosphorus but low in potassium, as well as copper sulfate or phytochrome, a natural colourant that is quite difficult to obtain. How to change the colour of hydrangeas to maroon? To avoid the loss of colour in hydrangeas that occurs whenever the pH of the soil rises, it is possible to add hydrangea azure, otherwise known as aluminium sulfate. We still need to keep the pH around 6.0 or 6.5. This will result in hydrangeas that are red, maroon or a very deep pink. As before, the hydrangea will end up needing acidic soil to grow healthy, so these practices should not be maintained for long. Going back to the question we asked you before, do you have your answer? The correct answer is C. There are about 70 to 75 species of hydrangeas known to us. Let us know if you have successfully changed the colour of a hydrangea, and we'll see you next time.